Well, today's a good day, and that is because we get to do something I've wanted to do for a long time, and that is go truck camping. I smoked a deer with my truck a while back. I've been looking for a new one. I wanted something with a 6+ foot bed and a topper, and as you can see, finally found that. So that means we get to go on a little adventure. I'll actually give you a little sneak peek here. I'll set it on the tripod. There we go. So you might not be able to see much, and that's okay because we're gonna give you a full run through later. I actually found it's called Dispersed Camping Site, where basically no amenities there, but you can just pull in and camp and it doesn't cost anything. So we're gonna head over there. Nick might actually be joining us later as well if he kind of gets his setup going. But I've kind of got two goals for this trip. First and foremost is obviously just doing a test run with a truck camping setup, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, seeing what I want to change. And I'll kind of talk through that. And two is just exploring new lakes. I love breaking down new water and kind of just seeing what they have to offer. And honestly, a few of the lakes even had like trophy size potential. So we'll probably get suckered into doing that a little bit as well. But either way, it's gonna be an adventure. Like I said, something I've wanted to do for a long time. And yeah, we're just gonna take you along for the ride. Well, we made it to the first lake here, and it is very small. The access is not great. Hopefully we'll be able to get the boat in here. And just from my assessment, I kind of think it's going to be definitely one of the more swing big, miss big lakes. It seems like it's a small kind of lake with panfish and like bass, but there are a few walleyes. They are big. We're gonna quit talking, get the boat in the water, and then we'll be out chasing some bigs. So we just got set up. A couple things I'm gonna check are weed edges, or if there's some fish just kind of floating off the edges of the weeds and just gonna drive. I'm gonna check some basin type stuff. It looks like it gets a little bit deeper, you know, in that 50 to 80 foot range. So I'm not gonna try that stuff, but if there's some kind of basins or flats in that 20 to 40. I'll check some of those. Otherwise, I'll just kind of roam around some of these weed edges, look for some shallow weedy flats. Another challenge that I didn't mention is that this is not a very well mapped lake. So it's gonna be just a lot of driving around, very basic contours, like 5 or 10 foot contours. So a lot of driving around, just kind of nosing around, checking that kind of stuff out. But let's see, we pretty much are just going to take the trolling motor right out of the access here, go roam around, see if we can find some big fish kind of roaming off these weed edges first. And I'm not even kidding, I just got done with that. I think that one's a weed right there. But there is definitely a fish a little closer into casting range with the jig and a crawler. Drop right on its head. If this works out like this, it can't work out like this. Brand new lake, literally like right away. Okay, I didn't see it yet. Oh, there it did see it maybe. That's another big one. Do you see that guy come up? Two good fish. Jeez, two good fish. This could not happen this quickly. They are big looking fish though, holy cow. Come on, no way. Okay, he's not really coming up for it though. That guy was, geez, those are some big ones though. Man alive. Try a reaction bait on that guy. There's some big fish. Don't know what these are, but there's a lot of good looking fish already, and we just are getting started. This could, if these are walleyes, this could be fun, but it's also very likely that they are not all walleyes. Well, definitely some good fish out in the weeds on the edges. Nothing very bitey yet, so might have to switch up some tactics, but that's definitely a positive development. Seeing already quite a few big fish, so I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get one in the right mood before the end of the night. Because that's what it is often with these big fish patterns, is you got to cast in front of a bunch until you just get the one that's in the right mood. Oh, this guy's seeing it. Start pulling it away. Start pulling it away. Come on. This one's big, but this one is giant. Big roamer here. Might have spooked it. See if we can get around him. He's going down. Oh, now he's coming up a little bit. Come on. Oh, he bit. He bit. Oh, no. That was a big fish. Oh, that's painful. Got good hooks into him too, I felt like. When we're out here for one fish and we finally get a chance and that happens. Oh, I don't even know what happened. It did just what we wanted it to do. Painful. Another good one up here. That is a big one right there. Oh, it bit. It bit. That one might be pikey. Whatever it is big. This one feels pikey. This one feels pikey. If it's a walleye, it's very big. I have a feeling it's a big pike.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh, I do not know what's going on. I need a break. Oh man. I'm gonna cry. It's like you drive all that way on a lake, you have no idea what's on it. Low density, so you know you're not gonna have many chances, and of course get a chance and I blow it. Well, the pain train continues. We're gonna turn around right here. Well, as you can see, I in fact did not turn it around. I did not fish clean today, and it hurt me. Was actually kind of happy with the amount of chances that I had. You know, if I was gonna get 1 or 2 bites today, that was what I hoped for, and I had that and then some. So all in all, saw some good fish. You know, I would love to see how many of those were walleyes versus big pike or something like that. But saw some good fish. We are going to get going so we can get camp set up before it gets too dark. But either way, gorgeous night like this. Being able to do a little camping out of the back of the pickup, can't complain. Well, we have a fire rolling. You are able to have fires in these as long as you're like cleaning up after, which that's obviously anytime you're camping, you want to make sure you're cleaning up after. But I was going to give you a tour of the shack, but I am so hungry. So I'm actually going to be making some brats here. So we're going to eat quick, and then we will finally give you a tour of where we're going to be staying. All right, what we have on the menu tonight, we have a couple brats with a little macaroni salad and some chips. I don't like doing a lot of prep for this. So I try to do things that are very, very basic. I also have a burner in there that I could have cooked the brats on as well. But being able to buy like little containers of this instead of making it, being able to buy some of that stuff, it adds a little bit of cost. But for me, with the lack of time, it is definitely worth it. But I've been waiting so long to eat. We're gonna dig in, then we're gonna get ready for bed. All right, well, I said I was going to give you a little tour, but I lied. I got tired, so we're going to save the full tour for tomorrow. Then it'll be daylight anyways, so you can see a little bit more in depth. But yeah, so far really liking the setup. I'll just give you one quick mini tour so you can see around. So that's what we got going on. We're going to finally hit the hay here, download some footage, did all that kind of stuff. gonna get a good night's sleep, and well, maybe get a good night's sleep. Who knows? We're gonna try to get a good night's sleep, and then we'll be back at it. Lake number 2. That's all I got for you tonight. See you in the morning.
Well, good morning. Night number 1 from base camp. Surprisingly good. I actually slept very well. I think the biggest thing is just going to be preparing for temperature changes. If it was kind of warm in the evening and then gets cooler at night, I had my sweatshirt and some sweatpants as it got a little colder, and yeah, honestly very happy with this setup. Slept very good. So we're gonna get out, get some breakfast rolling, and then we'll finally give you a little tour of the place here. All right, for breakfast today, I've got these pre-made breakfast burritos that I made at home, wrapped them in tin foil, and just put them right on the pan here to warm them up, and it works pretty slick. One of the biggest things with anything like this is obviously finding some sort of cooking solution that doesn't take up a lot of space. And these little guys, I use it in the winter all the time, but these little guys are pretty nice. Obviously, you're a little more limited on what you can do with it, but anything that I can throw a pan in, or throw in a pan, I can cook, boil water, anything like that. Nice little setup for a pretty easy cooking solution. All right, now the moment probably many of you have been waiting for. I'm going to show you kind of what I've been sleeping in, show you the truck camping setup. Some of you may have never been to my channel before, and you don't even care about fishing, but you saw a little truck camping setup. Not going to go as in-depth as like a full-on truck build, but we're going to show you here. I actually have it closed for full effect. One thing I will say, so first off, it opens up. There's an automatic light that turns on when I open that up, and I just switch that out with an LED bulb. Makes it a little brighter, takes a little less battery. So that's really nice. When I do have the bed rug in, which I'll talk about in a second, it's a little harder to open up the tailgate. So I have to push in a little bit. So just be mindful of that. But then I have, there we go, my rug. I have the step stool. I know, a little bit bougie, but I do not want to get this dirty and be having sand, especially if I'm in a sandy little parking lot like this. Don't want sand everywhere. So this is what I was telling you about, was that bed rug. It Velcros down. I only did the partial one. You can see it doesn't go up on the sides. They have some that are on the sides as well, but it ends up being like twice as much. But either way, even if you go with this cheaper one, it is 1000% worth it. It's got like foam underneath. So like when you're kneeling, when you're walking around in here, it's so much more comfortable. It just makes it feel a lot more cozy. So it is not cheap. I want to say even this was like $220, almost $250 after shipping or taxes or something. But that is one thing that I would highly recommend. As we move in a little further, one thing you'll see there, this is how I'm powering my lights, how I'm charging my phone, how I'm just charging like my cameras at night. This is from Ice Hole Power. It's got two, I think 30 amp hour lithium batteries from Amped Outdoors. That is one of the things that you definitely want to keep in mind when you're doing something like this, is power. Depending on what you're needing. Obviously, I need a lot of power because I'm running cameras, I'm running all that kind of stuff. I have my boat. Luckily, I have lithiums in here from Amped, 250 amp hour lithium, so 100 amp hours for my trolling motor. And then I have the power box. It's like made for this kind of stuff, like camping. It has been a lifesaver. You'll notice a lot of my power stuff is from Amped Outdoors because they have incredible batteries. There's a lot of good lithium batteries out there, but there's also a lot of really bad ones, or ones that are kind of knockoff. I've just heard a lot of horror stories about lithium batteries. So no matter what you choose, do some research first. Sorry, that was a little tangent on power, but I'm gonna dig in here and kind of show you a little more what we got going on inside. First, you can see we have the power box, all sorts of different plugins and whatnot there, but that just goes to a little light switch here. So then I have, those are the same lights that I actually use in the wintertime, the Clam Aurora. As you can see, I have curtains all around the inside that are just Velcroed. That's one thing that's so nice about having a carpeted top as well, is you can take on and off curtains really easily. I usually keep them on just for light and privacy. You can see I have a screen on here which is so nice. The window can just open and close from the inside there. But that's been so nice just for ventilation and such. One thing I will say, in a perfect world, I would love to have windows that open up on the sides, but I also want a screen. So if I could have the best of both worlds and have windows that open up and a screen, but if I needed to choose, I chose having a screen because that is definitely necessary, especially for some of these warmer summer nights like this. So going around here, we have, this is a Teton Sports cot organizer. And again, this is just Velcro. So I can just Velcro it right there. So nice just to put any little odds and ends. You can see I got keys and all sorts of stuff in there, little first aid kit, water bottle holders. Then over here there's like a beach chair that I got, again, from Amazon. Really nice because it's low profile. I can sit straight up in it if I want. This table I use it kind of as like a nightstand type thing, but this folds down, which is really nice. So I can sit there without this table in the way. You can see I have a fan here. I would highly, highly recommend investing in a good fan, especially if you're gonna be camping in the summer like this, because yeah, it got a little sticky last night. So being able to have that right away. I mean, once it gets a little bit later after dark, then it cools down really nicely. But right away, that thing was so nice in just keeping me a little cooler. Again, I think I have links. Yeah, I got a lot of this stuff on Amazon. Actually, I needed it quickly and I couldn't find it locally. But I'll have links for like the beach chair, the fan, the cot organizer. Lots of these things will be in the description below if you're looking or if you're curious as to what I'm using there. But then we go to the cot setup. Obviously, we have that rolling right here. This is just a little extra memory foam pad. This is the Coleman Ridgeline. Yeah, Coleman Ridgeline 3. You can see I have some of my totes and stuff underneath. I'll show you how I get to those. Actually, before I do, one thing you can see is I can actually access them underneath here, which is nice. This does slide out. I'll show you in a second, but I can access them underneath as well. But with that, there's plenty of padding, plenty of comfort. Yeah, pretty slick. You can see I have more curtains. I do have a curtain for the back too, but I just took that down for the morning. Over there, I just have a little garbage that's tucked behind. But yeah, that's kind of what we got for the inside. If I think of anything else that I forgot, I'll let you know. We'll go back out. All right, one really convenient thing is you can see this actually pulls out. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. It doesn't like slide out like drawers, but it was relatively easy to make. And I wanna be able to use this like a pickup. Like when I go home, I wanna be able to take the bed rug out. I wanna be able to take all this stuff out and just use it like I normally would. I want my setup to be very easy to put on and off for a weekend or for when I'm gonna go out. So I just have, I'll show you this quick. Just have a rope with this. It's a 1/2 inch sheet of plywood. I put some things on the edges. I'll show you that in a second. But that can tuck up or you can pull it out. I did get this from another guy's video. Can't remember which one it was, but I did a ton of research and just, you know, that's what you do. You watch a bunch of these videos and you take one thing from this guy, one thing from that person, and then you're set. So you can pull this out. Again, not perfect. This is that little extra board that I use, so I'll just set that off to the side. Now I have all my materials in here. So when I pull it out, I have these legs right here. I don't know how well you can see that, but hopefully you can, that just fold down and then they can stand up. You can see I'm not super level. So these are a little tall, so it's not gonna be perfectly sturdy. Either way, I can pull it out, have this be like an extra table, so I could be cooking or grabbing stuff or anything like that. I will say this was one of the most rewarding projects, simply because you know that feeling when you like use that piece of scrap wood, and I know I'm getting old when this happens, but when you use that piece of scrap wood or use that extra thing that you've kept, that piece of hardware, I did that a lot for this project. So it's not gonna be like super dialed in as far as perfect goes, but it was very cheap because I had pretty much all of this stuff and it was relatively easy. It doesn't always like to slide in super nice, so hopefully it will for the video. But you just slide it in. Look at that. So yeah, that's the big run through on the truck camping setup. Literally, this is kind of my trial run, so there's definitely gonna be things that I tweak, but so far for starters, I'm pretty happy with it. I can see it's getting more light out, and that means I need to get fishing very quickly. So I'm gonna finish packing up. We're gonna get on the road. I'm hopeful today. I'm really looking forward to checking out this lake. I think we're gonna get some big bites, and yeah, here we go.
All right, we just pulled up to the access here on lake number 2 for the trip. Quick little rundown on this one. Like I said, gonna be different than yesterday. Yesterday was like small, weed driven, low density, but big size. This one is bigger. It's got better numbers, but also good size. And one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is this lake fish is a little more up my style in the fact that there's a lot of mid-lake structure. So that's probably the primary thing that I'm gonna do is works, jigs and crawlers, jigs and plastics. Reaction bait will probably come into play today as well, over some of this mid-lake structure, try to identify some of the bigger marks. And so that's gonna be kind of the plan. Get a little lay of the land, see what we can find. And yeah, either way, I get to go out and chase big fish today. No matter what happens, tough to beat that. All right, just rolling up on our first hump here, seeing some fish. Fish up on top here, kind of wondering if they're bassy. Could be suckers too. Some weeds up on top of this guy. See what they think. If they even react. Yeah, there one bit. There one bit. They don't look big. Let's see what we are working with. Walleyes though. I worked up on this little bit shallower end. Interesting, whoa. There we go, we have caught a walleye. It is official, we have a walleye. I came and I found some of this mid-lake structure, and this was a little bit shallower part on that mid-lake structure, and there ends up being some weeds up on top. And so I'm looking for more of these bigger roaming marks, but since it was the first one of the day, I did want to just kind of get a lay of the land, you know, trying to figure out some of these lakes and what they set up like. So we're officially on the board after a few hours last night not catching anything. Now that we broke the ice, we're gonna go try to find some bigs here. Another school up here. Gonna assume that they are suckers, but we will see. Just gonna work through that whole slew of them. See what happens. Hey, we may have found one of the few walleyes. Like I said, I think a lot of these are suckers. Nope, I snagged a sucker. So that confirms my suspicion that these are suckers. But I will say sometimes you throw a jig and wrap in those suckers and there will be like 1 or 2 decent walleyes hanging out, and you can pull one of those guys. Well, we're gonna call that for spot number 1. Good looking stuff, but yeah, walleyes, eaters up in the weeds, about what you can expect, especially when they're schooled up like that. Didn't see any big roaming singles, which you can do in the weeds. Suckers out on top, loaded up. So we're gonna avoid some of those schools. I mean, if we see some schools, we'll check it out. And sometimes there's some bigger ones off the side or higher. But guys, we're gonna nose around, keep going around and try to find some more stuff. All right, so it's probably been a minute for me, not for you, because I just moved here quickly, because I am not seeing a ton. I shouldn't say that. I've been seeing a few, but I'm just not getting them to go. Oh, you can see that guy, he stopped falling. Stop falling. Pull up, keep it coming. This is a big fish. Oh, and he bit. He bit and he has it. Oh, he has it. But he's swimming with me, so it's tough to tell. Oh, this is a big fish. It looks really long, so I'm guessing it's a big pike. But either way, it would be so fun. Well, I guess welcome to the Heartbreak Hotel. My check-in time was yesterday. You know, and I could edit these out and make myself feel better, but that just wouldn't be authentic. That wouldn't be real. So you're gonna see it. Probably get roasted in the comments. That's okay. These are not big, but I just feel like I need to go get bit right now. Doesn't often happen to me. Usually I can grind it out with the best of them, but I don't know. I'm not fishing clean. There one came up and bit. There one came up and bit. Oh, and I've not been fishing clean. It's very frustrating. See if we can actually get this guy in. Jeez, he's up at the surface like he's a bass. Well, just felt good to get bit again. And of course that guy chomped it, stuck in there great. Well, after a frustrating long stretch, felt good to go just get bit again. Man, the good news is if I really wanted to, it seems like the eater bite is going okay up on top of these. A little bit shallower, but those bigs just aren't happening. So I don't know, we're gonna keep grinding it out, see if we can't find some big ones. I do have a good one in the sights here, but otherwise it's maybe I just needed to talk to you. He's starting to engage. No, maybe not. Apparently not. He turned now. Nope, now he stopped. So I'm seeing some big fish. Like I said, some of it's been just distinguishing what's walleyes, like trying to find, because there's big suckers. There we go. There's one. Chatting with Nick right now. He's thinking about swinging over and finally get one to go. Man, feels okay. Do you want to stay on the line, Nick, or do you want me to call you back? Let's see. Whoa, going on a little run. Be a good walleye. I switched it up here, whoa, just a little bit. That was almost a pike run. Don't like that. Switched it up here to, I've been using a lot of stuff today and just haven't gotten bit. Are you kidding me? It's a pike. I was just talking to Nick and I was saying how the big thing is trying to differentiate what some of these other fish are amidst these suckers. And it's definitely if you can find like one of those big marks higher or off by itself. You know, all these suckers are schooled up pretty good. It would look like if you drove over it with your 2D, like a giant pot of, woo, this guy's feisty. Let me get my fish off here and then I'll talk. Well, a thick guy, but the wrong species. If we get a walleye that size, that would sure be nice. That's what I was just talking about, trying to identify some of those bigger single marks, either up higher or off the edges of some of these schools of suckers, because there's a bunch of them on this Midlake structure. And finally switched up to a little more reaction bait, and obviously I wasn't a walleye, but got one to go. That's been a little bit of this trip, is just kind of grinding it out. I'm gonna finish my phone call here with Nick and then we'll get back to you guys. Couple off the edge here. That may be bigger. It's worth a shot at least. No, these don't look that much bigger, if at all. A bit. Let's see. We got a walleye, but a little guy. Yikes. Get up shallow again. Get another walleye. Well, I guess that pattern remains consistent. If I can get up shallow around some weeds or up on top of the humps in some of the schools. Can get eaters to go still, but yeah, just not able to pull out some of those bigger ones yet. You guys always say you want to see the good, the bad, the ugly. Well, here is both the bad and the ugly. So, hope you're enjoying. Let's see if I remember how to set the hook. Well, I still know how to set the hook. And so walleye. Oh, if I wanted to eat, I could be eating good. Lots of good eaters. Whoa. There it is right there. Lots of eaters. You can get those to bite, but just not getting the big ones to go. But on that note, I think we are calling it for today. A little bit earlier today. I want to get regrouped a little bit earlier than I did last time. I got to get some ice in the cooler, some of those kinds of things. If I wanted to go get a good fish fry, this would have been a good spot to go. But man, I could not get those bigs to go. I threw almost everything at them. I don't know what you probably can't see, but I've had rods literally laying all over. Thrown everything and the kitchen sink at them today. And I've gotten them to chase and even like close that gap quick where it looks like they're going to go. And just nothing. Obviously you're not going to see any of that. Don't know what was going on, or if they were just in that kind of mood. But somebody's always catching them, so just didn't quite figure it out today. Either way, this has still been so much fun. That's all I got for you today. We'll see you back at camp. All right, we're cooking some burgers. We've got some bacon, but we do have a guest, the one and only Nick Lindner. One thing you might notice...
I just came here to eat your food, honestly.
One thing you might notice, I was out grinding it out all day and haven't eaten all day, and Nick is eating the first burger. And so that just, I want to show how good of a host I am. But really, this is super slick. Cooking up some burgers. Got some already cooked bacon. Making a little bacon cheeseburger. And the other thing I did want to say, you saw a little bit of the grind that I've been through the last day and a half. Nick went out tonight. He was doing kind of the same thing, just trying out some brand new lakes. And he can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but I ended up catching a couple decent walleyes. And so, sorry, you're eating while I'm trying to eat while I bring you in here.
Well, what, now I'm supposed to brag? No.
Yes, brag.
It was multiple over 26. So
yeah,
we're fishing some of the right lakes. It's just hitting them at the right time or whatever.
Yes, and so he fished for a handful of hours at most, maybe a few. Stumbled into a couple. So again, shows that we're onto the right pattern. We're going to kind of hang out here tonight, brainstorm some ideas for tomorrow. We're trying to decide if we want to like break down the same lake together and really piece some information, or kind of divide and conquer. But as you can see, we got the fire rolling. We've got 2 truck camper setups, and yeah, kind of a nice little cozy setup. I'm going to finish cooking, finish eating. Nick, any famous last words?
No, we're going to hang out by the fire. It's going to be super relaxing. We got good food. We got like probably enough snacks for a week, so we should be good on the snack side.
Yeah, I'm heavy on the snacks, especially on the sweets. So
I am too. I brought a bunch. So.
Nick was coming in clutch with some snacks. He yeah. Either way, we're gonna have a blast here tonight. I'm smelling things burning. I'm gonna get to the burgers.
Yeah, forget.
Nick already cracked a couple good ones.
I've already got my burgers.
Yeah. So we'll see you tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know where we're gonna be at yet. Well, good morning. Nick just took off. I'm almost ready. One more lake today. If you're stuck around for this point already, I appreciate you. You might be a little crazy sticking around for no big fish, but either way, I appreciate you. We're gonna make it worth your while today, I hope. We'll see you out on the water. All right, well, we're out on the water, and as you can see, it's a little bit rainy, but I already saw fish, so I am gonna try to get out to it here. Much different style lake here today. It's again a low density, but a good potential size. So, ooh, this guy's coming straight up, and he bit right underneath. Oh my gosh. No! My mic's not even on. That definitely seemed pikey. Well, we're back, retied. My line was pretty sheared, so I'm assuming it's got to be a pike. It looked pretty scraped up from some teeth. But either way, good news, fish was bitey. But second, I was going to talk through just like this lake sets up a little different. Again, it's a low density, but a good average size lake, like I said. But this is not like a deep, still kind of clear, but like not as deep. You know, a lot of the other lakes yesterday and the day before I were fishing were like deep, clear lakes. This one, the basin is like 30, maybe 40 feet or so. And so honestly, it looks like this whole thing could be fishable. There could be fish literally at any given moment out in this basin. So we're gonna give her one last hurrah here. I shouldn't even be casting on these. These do not look big. One last try, see if we can make it happen. Not what we want. Not what we want. It's decent. Decent, but not big. Oh, I'll just hand land this guy, which is not very smart because I haven't been catching many fish. Nick was kind enough, said we should go dissect this piece that he was seeing fish. And there we go, probably 20-inch or so. But been a little bit of a grind on this lake for me. Although fish in this area, there's kind of two main areas. Nick took one, I took the other. And not a lot happening on the stuff that I started on, but clearly there's some fishy stuff in this area. So that's the update. We're gonna fish this spot for a little bit longer and then we'll go check out a new lake. Every bit. Every bit. Decent. Not giant. There's definitely been a more fishy area. Definitely been a more fishy area. My net's back there, so I'm gonna hand land this guy too. Oh man. With my track record, like I said, of fish getting off, this is probably not a very smart idea. Ugh. Not, again, big. I don't even have my good camera out. Still been kind of misty, rainy. But another, not the size we're looking for, but after kind of a grindy start, I'll take those. Like I said before, this is an area that Nick combed over a little bit, saw some fish, so we decided to come tag team it and see if we could find any bigger ones. But so far, a lot of that is what we've been seeing. You're throwing plastic, you said?
Yeah, hard.
Hey. There's a pair, you probably are casting at the other one. About the same, about the same. We got Nick over here, shows me the spot and then he thinks he can just cast wherever. It's literally right underneath the boat. Another decent one. Oh. All right, after that kerfuffle, we got another, again, kind of that maybe low 20s. I mean,
Are there any walleyes?
look at this guy. He shows me the spot, so then he thinks he can just come on in whenever, you know. Nick was gracious enough to let me come over and fish an area, and this has definitely been a more fishy area. Like, where I started, I was not seeing fish up off bottom like this, so this has definitely been, whoa, a lot more fishy. Just set up in the right mood, all that kind of stuff. We almost had a Brock Horner incident here. Hey, look at this guy.
The truth is, I just showed up to the lake 30 minutes before he did.
Got
so
to the
I got
juice.
to pick the best spot
Oh no,
first.
that other spot looks good too. But we've been talking. We're catching fish, but I think we need to go try something with some bigger size structure. So, are we finally calling it? Or are we gonna?
I'm ready to go.
All right, we're gonna finally call it. So, thanks Nick for letting me catch a few fish. Makes me feel better about myself.
You're welcome.
We'll get regrouped, get set up. We'll be off to the lake where we're actually gonna catch the big one. I know I keep saying it, but it's gonna happen. All right, we are back to another new lake. We're running out of time though, so this is gonna be kind of one last hurrah. A little bit bigger lake, deeper, clearer lake again. And yeah, I can't remember all the details on the data, so I'm not gonna be able to share that because I am, just like I said, running out of time. So I just need to get fishing. That's what we're gonna do. Hopefully we will finally get that big one. Well, super fun trip. We did not stick a big one at the end, although there was a ton of big fish in that last area. Nick was over there as well. And we were seeing so many big fish, but just could not get them to go. I think it's one of those things where if we would have been able to stick it out for a long time, there would have been a bite window opened up and we would have caught at least one or two really big fish. But ran out of time. I got to get going. Either way, this is a super fun trip. Definitely gonna be doing more of this because this truck camping stuff is super fun. But I do want to know, let me know in the comments, do you like this kind of stuff? I throw these little vlog style videos in every once in a while, and always looking for your feedback. If you like it, if you don't like it, again, just let me know. Lots of eaters going, lots of average, you know, even those low 20s going. Could have stuck around, not even sure if I showed all those fish catches, but could have stuck around and caught a few more of those. But I get so easily sucked into chasing some of those big ones. It's just so fun. High risk, high reward, especially on new lakes. Definitely even more high risk, high reward. When it does happen, it's so darn fun. And so yeah, like I said, a little different style video. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.